असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतंगमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति।
Gurudev Ramchandra Dattatreya.Ranade, M.A.D. Literature, born in 1886 into a pious family of Jamkhandi, North Karnataka, was one of the greatest mystic saints of modern India. He was a teacher, educationist, author, saint. Gurudev was a great mystic philosopher of international acclaim. Shri.Gurudev.Ranade was initiated by Shri Bahu Sahib Maharaj on 25th of November 1901 on the day Vaikunta Chaturdashi. He secured the second rank in matriculation in the Bombay province, graduated in mathematics with distinction. In 1914, he completed MA in philosophy, winning the Chancellor's Gold Medal from the University of Mumbai. It is stated that the examiners who assessed Gurudev's papers remarked, "The examinee knows more than the examiner." Having written over 24 books on a wide range of subjects on philosophy, his magnum opus, A Constructive Survey on Upanishadic Philosophy, continues to guide scholars and practitioners world over even to this day. Gurudev.Ranade had mastery over English, Sanskrit, Hindi, Marathi, Kannada, Greek, Persian, Latin, and Hebrew, and studied both ancient and modern philosophy in all these languages. Gurudev's greatness is imprinted on the thousands of followers who have adapted mystic spiritualism in their thoughts, words, and action. From the layman to the intellectuals, he guided the path of integrating spirituality as a way of life. With the establishment of Nimbargi Sampradaya, a new view of life. Academy of Comparative Philosophy and Religion, popularly known as Gurudev.Ranade Mandir, located amidst sprawling 2.5 acres lush greenery in the heart of Belagavi in Hindwadi, is an iconic spiritual landmark reflecting the rich legacy of a philosopher saint, and as a beacon of hope for the unity of mankind in the path of God. The serene monument, with an auditorium, meditation room, meeting hall, guest rooms, office, and an excellently furnished library for competitive examinations, surrounded by picturesque green ambience, is a hub for seekers of truth, from the leaders to the laymen. Objectives of ACPR: to work for the spiritual unity of mankind, to promote peace and goodwill by bringing together intellectual and spiritual unison through spiritual symposia, studies and research, lectures and conferences, journals and publications. Pathway to God, a quarterly journal published by this esteemed institution in English language, is reaching to every corner of the planet, spreading the message of peace and harmony. Essence of Greatness. Gurudev.Ranade wrote the monumental classic, A Constructive Survey of Upanishadic Philosophy, which won him the professorship and later the position of Vice Chancellorship of the Allahabad University. His classics include magnum opuses on mystical saints of Maharashtra, Karnataka, and northern India, Mahatma Gandhi, and an extraordinary account of the philosophy of Saint Kabir. Gurudev Ranade was invited to join the freedom movement by Lokmanya Tilak, which was politely declined by Gurudev, stating that spiritual freedom is also a journey towards national realization. Later on, Gurudev wrote a review of Tilak's Gita Rahasya in his commentary on the Bhagavad Gita. Gurudev has had significant impression on Aurobindo Ghosh, Annie Besant, and all the contemporary thinkers and leaders who were fascinated by his prowess of prose and philosophy. Tributes to Gurudev. Shri Aurobindo, Gurudev's luminous clarity and lucidity in Greek, French, and the mind leaves us charmed, enlightened, and satisfied. Dr. Rajendra Prasad, the philosophy we have inherited lives in him. His talk in Rashtrapati Bhavan about the sublime in mystical experience shall remain with us for long. Dr. S. Radhakrishnan. Gurudev lived a life of great simplicity and piety which ennobled the lives of many. My life is richer for having known him. Dr. D.C. Pavte. Gurudev was one of the great mystics of modern time and has expounded the mystical philosophy as few have been able to do. Professor George B. Birch, University of Mass, USA. He did not have to pretend to be a saint because he was obviously one. Such a one was Shri Ranade, who shows us how fine human nature can be. I am glad that Providence brought me to this most spiritually advanced person. Shri F.W. Bain, Principal, Deccan College, Pune. I shall leave the whole of my library in India in exchange of your valuable booklets on Greek philosophers. Professor Arthur I. Schilling Law. In the International Journal of Philosophy, Gurudev Ranade is clearly an interpretative genius of a very high order. Dr. Annie Besant, the founder of Theosophical Society, invited Gurudev to join the society, which he had politely declined. Mahamahopadhyaya, Sir Dr. Ganganath Jha, the then Vice-Chancellor of University of Allahabad, who wanted Professor R.D. Ranade as a successor to Dr. H.N. Randele in the philosophy department, and since Professor Ranade was reluctant to go to Allahabad, as he was apprehensive about the extreme climate of the place, as also about managing the Academy of Philosophy and Religion, Pune from there informs Gurudev as, I need not add that personally I shall regard it as my greatest achievement as Vice-Chancellor if I succeed in bringing to the university a professor of your caliber and attainments. So please don't disappoint. It does not matter even if you don't deliver a single lecture. I want to enter your name in the list of professors of our university. Milestones in the journey of ACPR. 1924. Conception of ACPR at Pune. 1952. Shri.Gurudev Ranade registered the trust as Academy of Comparative Philosophy and Religion, Belagavi. 1964. Foundation Stone by Shri B.D. Jatti, Finance Minister. 1965. Inauguration of the ACPR Monument by the President, Dr. S. Radhakrishnan at Belagavi, 8 years after passing away of Dr. R.D. Ranade. 1969. Lecture by Dr. Fung of Mainz University, Germany. 1974. Visit of His Holiness Shri Swami Chinmayanandaji. 1977 Visit of Dr. Robert Francis Goheen. 1978 Visit of Honorable Chief Justice of India by V. Chandrachud. 1979 Visit of Majesty's Queen Frederica of Greece and Queen Sophia of Spain, along with the great philosopher of modern India, Dr. T.M.P. Mahadevan. 1979 Visit of His Holiness Chandrasekharendra Saraswati Shankaracharya Swamiji of Kanchi Kamakoti Math, who stayed at ACPR for 3 months. 1984 Visit of Jagadguru His Holiness Shankaracharya of Sringeri. 1997 Visit of Honorable PM Shri H.D. Devagowda. 1997 Visit of the IFS officer Dr. I.P. Singh, Ambassador to Spain. 2004 Visit of His Holiness Shrimad Gangadharendra Saraswati of Swarnavalli Mutt, Sirsi. 2010 Visit of Shri Mohan Ji Bhagwat, Sarsang Chalak, RSS. Visit of noted Sufi saint and awardee of Padma Shri, Shri Ibrahim Suthar, visited ACPR and delivered lecture on 26th of December 2010. 2011 Visit of Honorable MP Shri Suresh Angadi. 2012 Visit of His Holiness Shrimad Niranjan Jagadguru Guru Siddharaj Yogendra Mahaswamiji, Muru Saviramat, Hubballi. 2015 Visit of Param Pujya Shri Siddheshwar Mahaswamiji Jnana Yogashram, Vijayapur. 2015 Visit of Union Minister Shri Pralhad Joshi. 2015 Visit of His Holiness Shrimad Basamjaya Mrutyunjaya Swamiji, Kudala Sangam Mutt. Visit of Shri Nitin Gadkari on 10th of December 2015 at India International Centre, New Delhi, released the books on Maharashtra saints written by Dr.R.D.Ranade. 2016 Visit of Honorable Central Minister Shri H.N. Ananthakumar. 2017 Visit of Honorable Chief Minister Shri B.S. Yediyurappa. 2018 Inauguration of the Rotary Study Circle by Shri Vijay Shankeshwar, Chairman, VRL Group Private Limited. 2019 Visit of Shri Vishweshwar Hegade Kageri, Honorable Speaker of the Karnataka Legislative Assembly, Bengaluru. 2019 One-day seminar for management students in association with PG Department of Management Studies, RCU, Belagavi, and the launching of Swadhyaya, the IAS Study Circle. Rotary IAS Study Library. ACPR premises have always been a place for students to gather for study from across the city throughout the year. Recognizing this sanctity, the IAS Study Circle Library was set up in 2018 with the help of Rotary Club of Belgaum, which has uniquely added to the noble cause of Gurudev's mission. Numerous aspirants of UPSC and other competitive exams have benefited from the ambience and resources. At present, the library has over 20,000 titles ranging from the ancient classics to the books for competitive examinations. National Conference. One of the most profound activities of ACPR has been the organization of a 3-day national conference on Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay's Integral Humanism, sponsored by ICPR, New Delhi, and in association with Rani Chennamma University, Belagavi. The maiden academic event turned out to be a milestone in the journey of ACPR, with the participation of over 500 delegates and the presentation of over 30 research paper and presentations. The papers are being published in the form of a book. ACPR attracts scholars, researchers, and distinguished guests from across the world for an understanding of the eternal message of Gurudev. Some of them have been Jnanapith Awardee D.R. Bendre, Srimati M.S. Subbalakshmi, Dr. S.L. Bhairappa, and scores of political, judicial, spiritual, social, intellectual, and public icons. Development plans. ACPR intends to grow into a global center for learning, research, and collaborative activities in the areas of spirituality, philosophy, and education. The trustees are truly blessed to be walking in the path of God in realizing Gurudev's vision of one God, one world, one humanity. Jai Shri Gurudev.